Hey, a person we would like to see fleet at least once or twice today, out of respect for the fleeting. A man who guided the Green Bay Packers to a 24-20 victory on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, future Hall of Famer, handsome man, Aaron Rodgers.
Let's go!
Aaron, how's it going? Turn that son of a bitch sideways. How are you?
Yeah, I'm losing you guys, though. I can't see you now when I turn it sideways.
Really? We can see you. It's perfectly clear.
No, I'm good.
Hey, have you fleeted yet on Twitter? Have you been? No.
No idea what that means.
Oh, let me tell you, Aaron. Okay, it's IG stories. Think about this, which was just TikTok. It's IG stories, but now a worse version of it on Twitter, and we need you on there. Okay, we need you in there, Aaron.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing those.
Oh, come on! Son of a. Good win on Sunday. Obviously, it felt like throughout the game, you guys were in control for most of it, but even at the end, it came down to a drive and a stop for your defense. Overall thoughts on how the game went, and you had a couple very giftable moments that we will definitely chat about here in the next couple moments for sure.
Yeah, I think it's hard to win in the league. So a lot of times you play a team that has one win, and there's an expectation of not just a win, but a blowout. And if you don't do it, much like we dealt with last year, all these media-termed ugly wins that we had, I think that was the sentiment maybe outside the building. I think inside the building, I think we were very positive. I think the defense played really well. They shut him down for the most part. Short field touchdown and 2 field goals is all they gave up. Made some big stops at important times. Special teams, we didn't cover well on one of the punts, obviously, and had all the kind of the hidden yardage game we were up against. It started a lot of drives inside our 10. So I think we need to improve in that area a little bit. And offensively, we turned the ball over twice, but I think the elements at times can even the playing field a little bit. At least that's what you saw a little bit Sunday. And also, there's a lot of pride in that team and a lot of good young players in Jacksonville. I know they're 1-8, but they didn't just roll over and take a beating. They played hard and stopped the run really well. Made us pretty one-dimensional.
Hey, what were you saying to the Smith brothers when you walked pretty much all the way onto the field? I'm glad you didn't get 12 men on the field, so I'm thankful the refs didn't throw it on you. They like you a lot.
You're in that little, little thing. You had the thing on there.
In his parka.
Yes, parka.
Yeah, he has his big parka on. I'm just curious, A, are you covering your mouth because of COVID and you don't want people to read your lips, or just COVID? What are we doing here? And did Mike Pettin donkey punch you in the back of the head because you're giving info to his defense and he already had it squared away?
I bet he probably wanted to. Mike and I have a fun relationship. We like to flip the bird to each other at various times throughout practice.
Nice.
It's a lot of love. No, I was just letting him know what I thought based on the formation that looked like to me some sort of either Hail Mary or lateral play. So we had a play last year against Chicago. We were up by 5 late in the game, and they threw a pass and turned to a lateral sequence and had the last guy who got tackled realize he had a guy in pitch relationship to the right. That might have been a touchdown. Which I think we were up 7, so it would have, the extra point would have tied the game. But I was reminding our DBs, hey, let's, finish the play. And those guys, that it looked like a possible dash was coming there, kind of a rollout Hail Mary possibility. So.
Is it what happened?
No, they ended up. I'm not sure what they ran. We rushed 4, had a good pass rush, and kind of had him hemmed up, and he had to throw a little check down to the sideline. But I'm not sure what they were running. It seemed like they were in range. They kind of had the wind slightly helping at that point about the 50. So I think young kid, big strong arm kids. I bet he could have got to the end zone. But I guess I'm not sure what the play was.
Couple questions here real quick about that. Young kid, I would assume old Jake the Snake Luton, he's probably a big fan of yours. Before the game, whenever a young guy like that, is there a conversation between you two, or are you not even allowed to do that because of, the big bad voodoo corona brother? You know what I mean? Are you even allowed to talk to people? And what are those conversations like? Do they ask you for tips or hints or just like, hello, nice to meet you? Is there anything like that?
Well, I kind of stopped going out pregame years and years ago. I just didn't get a lot out of it. I think some guys like to go out and do a warm up and throw 40, 50 balls. I've never really felt that was necessary for me. My process is stretching routine in the locker room, and then I go out for just pregame warm-ups and get in the throws I get in during that time and feel ready to go based on those throws. So I didn't see him before the game. I used to enjoy some of those conversations with those guys. I still got to see him after the game, and because I really wanted to tell him how much I loved his spin move last week playing Houston. And he stiff-armed a guy to the ground and then did a kind of reverse spin move for a righty. It was awesome, and I just want to tell him how much I love that play. I think there's much like Pat with you and the in the punters and kickers. Like when you see a quarterback do something amazing, doesn't matter who it is. Like it gets you pumped up. When a guy like that stiff arms a guy to the ground and then does a spin move and makes the guy totally whiff and scores a touchdown. Like there's just something as a quarterback that gets you going. Like bringing the athleticism to the position. Now, there's obviously some guys who are out of that conversation. Like whatever Lamar does every single week, he doesn't really count because he's in his own stratosphere. But some of the guys who maybe aren't thought of as athletic, when a play like that happens, it's pretty cool.
Well, let's talk about your sneaky athleticism. Crafty athlete. You make something out of nothing because you're a coach's son, lunch pail type of guy. First one in, last one out. Here at the age of 36, hey, skirt around the edge there, score a touchdown, hockey check into the boards with arms wide open. I mean, what a moment there. What a sequence of athleticism for you. At what point did you know you were going to take off? At what point did you know instead of a Lambeau leap, you're going to do like the jump into the boards like a hockey thing? And what was the significance of this bad boy right here?
Well, I was actually a little bummed out. That was a play called to throw Mercedes a touchdown.
Oh,
and
against
he
the
played for
Jags.
Jacksonville. I was really hoping to throw it to him, so I was a little reluctant actually. I got to do a little pump fake, which I love doing. That whether they go for it or not, it's fun. And actually, the funny aside, the guy chasing me was like, "Hey, slow down, Swell, slow down." I was like, "What?" He's like yelling at me to slow down as I'm running, but. As I approached, I got in the end zone and I approached kind of the jump point. Obviously, in years past, when you have a full fan base there in the stands, it's fun to jump in there. You never know what's going to happen. Probably some sort of beverage gets spilled on you, and they'll grab you and try and touch you in certain spots. But
it's good. It's good.
I made my approach and thought that wall looks pretty high. I'm going to jump in it, and then. I'm going to try and make this look really cool. So,
played it off.
Turned around and just thought two things. One, what would Scott Stapp be doing right now? And secondly, have you seen Austin Powers and Goldmember?
Yes.
Our offense coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, who installs the Red Zone, is obsessed with that movie. Everything about it. Why he's called Goldmember. Where he likes to party, the fact that he's a big roller skater and a swinger.
Doesn't he lift his
There's
leg?
a lot of great lines by Goldmember in that movie. And one of our mantras is, "I love gold."
Gold. I love that.
Like Goldmember. So we call the Red Zone the Gold Zone as an ode to Goldmember. So if you guys see us doing our arms like this, we're doing the "I love gold."
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey, you love that Hackett guy, don't you? I know your offensive coordinator. He doesn't. Luckily, because of you, he got a bunch of pub with you making controversial statements to the media. It's just kind of churning them up, getting everybody going. Like, what is so special about Hackett?
I'm glad your mic's working, H. I like your questions today.
That's awesome.
Well, first of all, Hack is, his dad is Paul Hackett, and Paul is one of the legendary West Coast offense guys. Paul worked me out with John Gruden in 2005, and they brought Jerry Rice for a throwing session, which was an absolute wild, surreal experience for me, being from Northern California and being a huge Niner fan growing up, and to see Jerry Rice walking down the steps at Memorial Stadium was pretty amazing. And also to meet Paul and knowing, they work with Bill Walsh and and having a love for the West Coast offense. It's fun having Nate with us because we can speak that language. And obviously he grew up around that. I grew up in the West Coast offense. It's kind of one iteration from what Bill and Paul, maybe one or two, what Mike installed and ran for years. But the concepts are similar, and the base of the offense is very, very similar. And I don't know, I just have a love affair with that type of offense. And so it's fun having him around to talk about the West Coast offense, to tell old stories. I keep in touch with Paul pretty regularly. When we last, against the Niners, I threw a Q8 and a Q9. That's a classic West Coast play where it's just a sprint out. I hit Devontae on the left side on 4th and 1 for a first down, and then hit Marquez for a touchdown I believe it was in the third quarter on the whirl route, the outside route of Q8, sprint right option, which is the same play that Joe Montana hit Dwight Clark for the catch in '81. It was on the whirl route as well. Freddie Solomon fell down the right flat. Joe kept it, pumped it, and then threw it high in the back of the end zone to Dwight, who was running the whirl route. So I immediately after I threw the touchdown, I came back to the sidelines and got on the phone with Nathaniel, just because I was so juiced to hit Q8 and hit the whirl on that. It's a West Coast kind of staple and fun to get back to that read. So it's fun having Nate around. He's also just a total goofball. His love of Gold Member, and it's like every single week on Friday when he installs it, we have to go through why he's called Gold Member, where he parties, and then he'll get somebody to wear the gold outfit and to do the I Love Gold saying. So it's one of those fun weekly rituals that you really look forward to.
It's been working, by the way. I feel like you guys have been doing rather well in the red zone. Not 100% sure. This football nerd stuff, whenever you start breaking it down, is awesome. Like, I want to let you know that when that Q8, Q9 thing right there, like, there's people that maybe have no idea anything about football further than what they're told by commentators, which isn't much. And I feel like they just learned it. Will you ever get into commentating or anything like that? You're very obviously good at football, but like the way you speak about it is also pretty impressive. Are you going to get into commentating or TV whenever you're done?
No.
How come?
When I'm done, well, I've given a lot to this game. I've been playing since I was in 8th grade. I've been playing 16 years, and I just feel like when I'm done, I want to be done. I think it'd be fun to help out some, an age group that I feel like is real impressionable still, like high school kids. I think being able to just volunteer, help, or just help with some quarterback stuff, I think would be fun. Just because I love the game so much, I don't want to totally, get out of it. But as far as the pro level, yeah, I mean, I don't see myself doing anything with it. I've given physically so much to the game, and mentally all the years. I just, I feel like I'll be pretty satisfied with what I did and what I contributed, and move on at that point.
Yeah,
maybe just do some radio hits with you every now and then.
Oh, that'd be nice. Hey, listen, I don't know what the service is like over in that one place in Southern California where you have a house, but if it's good service, we would like you to call anytime you want to. Let's talk a little football nerd stuff here. I've talked to some other quarterbacks, and the Hail Mary, in their eyes, is like a throw in hope. Like it's a throw in hope. We got a bunch here. They'll end up here. We're going to throw in hope it. And then whenever you start looking at what Kyler did, and Kyler literally tweeted out, shit, D-Hop is down there somewhere. And then you look at you with your success. Is there more to it than a throw in hope that people should realize whenever you come to that? Or were those guys who said that pretty accurate? Because you've been very successful at it, obviously. We had a poll the other day on who's the best Hail Mary thrower of all time. You won. Jesus Christ came in second because he did throw some good Hail Marys. People forgot. They're still being caught to this day. Mm-hmm. And then Kyler Murray came in third, which is good for our poll, by the way, because recency bias normally owns it. So even the internet was like, Aaron's the guy at this thing. What is it about those things that have a higher percentage than people think for you?
Well, I mean, I don't know what the percentage is. I think it just comes down to the way you throw it. If you can find a clean spot, in or outside the pocket, the key for ours has always been kind of the trajectory. If you take out the Jeff Janis one, which was similar in nature to Hopkins, other than there were 3 guys around Hop and really just Patrick Peterson around Jeff Janis. Yeah, the other two, I was trying to get to a clean spot and throw it as high as possible. And on both of those, I think there was a misjudgment by the majority of the players on the field as to where the ball was going to come down. The first one in Detroit, most of the guys went to Devontae, who at the time was the jumper on the play. Because everybody has a specific role within the Hail Mary if you're doing the classic, traditional kind of throw to a spot. And they went to Devontae, who was the jumper. And, Richard Rodgers just kind of moseyed down there and looked around and looked up and, he made a great catch on the ball, which was about 5 yards from kind of the what was thought to be the apex point of the ball, 7 yards in the end zone. And I would say the one in the Giants game as well in the playoffs, because of the height of it, again, when it came down, most guys thought it was going to be in the middle of the end zone. And there's Cobby there in the back of the end zone catching basically a free ball because a little bit of a misjudging of where the ball is going to come down.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this. I don't even know if guys have that many in practice. Like, that is not something that's even a high percentage in practice. Not that it's ever full go, but I've seen with the defense not allowed to jump on the play, guys drop that all the time, and it's because of the judgment. It's like a punt coming down there. Oh man, that's fascinating. I should probably be a deep ball thrower. Get a lot of height on that. Russell Wilson. They always talk about Russell Wilson. How he throws a deep ball and it comes down. Is he the only human that does that, or are they just talking about it because he does it all the time?
Well, I think there's a lot of guys that can throw it in that way. I think he definitely attempts a lot of those, and they have the personnel where they like to take a number of those shots. I think he's one of the best deep ball throwers in the game for sure. And again, I think what it does when you throw it that high is really two things. One is it allows your guy to run underneath it. It gives you a greater margin of error. And then secondly, it's more difficult for a DB to knock away when the ball is coming on that trajectory compared to a flatter ball where they can just put a hand up. It's less expected too. I think the DB is expecting more of a slightly flatter ball, so it's a little harder for them to judge, a little harder to knock away, and also gives you a little margin of error because if you do miss a little bit short, a lot of times that can turn into a pass interference for you. So if you got a chance, it's usually a better option. But I don't think everybody in the league can make those type of throws because it does take shoulder flexibility. It does take eye discipline, and it does take an understanding of your arm and your receivers.
The classic Flacco, dude.
Hey, what do you mean? What do you mean eye discipline on a Hail Mary?
I'm not talking about a Hail Mary. I was more referring to like some of the deep balls and outside the number throws. But great way to try and catch me on that one, H.
Hey, Jay! Suck it, dude! Suck it!
I was talking about deep balls outside the numbers. If you throw a ball that high, you can't just stare a guy down because if there's a single safety on the field, you're obviously going to that guy's going to get involved in the play. That's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking of eye discipline because I'm still. I don't know if you watched the game last night. Harrison Smith. I know Darius Butler tweeted out he disguised 9 different coverages and 3 blitzes on one play within like 4 seconds, and gets a PBU. They show it on the game. They didn't really have time to really mention how well he was disguised. I'm just wondering, guys like that. That's what you need eye discipline for, right? And how tough is it facing a dude that can do that? Because not many guys can.
Not many guys can. I mean, he's a one-on-one when it comes to disguising. I mean, he's the most frustrating guy to play against, I think, with his disguises because he does so many different things from the line of scrimmage. Blitz, play, the curl flat in a 2 invert, run back and play quarter safety, run back and play the half, run back and play the middle field third. It's just. Yeah, it's a little maddening sometimes what they do when they're really rolling. And obviously they're playing better and they've won 3 in a row, which I'm not surprised because they do have a good team and they're young, so the guys are starting to figure it out and they're getting a chance to play. But when they had all their guys healthy, it's a really, really tough defense. And I've said on this show I've long been a fan of Mike Zimmer. There's just not many things that he doesn't throw at you that give you problems. So, but when you got a guy like Harrison who can, it's all about trust. Like he's staying down there trusting that he's going to be able to get to his spot, before you can make him pay. And that's just, I think, the beauty in his game. And more times than not, he's around the football. You always talk about playmakers and what makes a playmaker. And there's an adage about being around the football that I don't think gets appreciated enough. Like, there's guys who are great players, but they might not always make a lot of plays. And then there's guys who might not get the same type of respect, but they're always around the ball. I mean, the ball finds them, tip passes, fumbles, around the football, raking at the ball, forcing fumbles. And that's the type of guy he is. And I've always said, I'm a little biased because I play against him twice a year, but I think he's one of the top guys in the league. And he might not get the recognition, but he's really tough to play against.
When you're trying to digest a defense before a play starts, are you looking for any type of tell? For instance, I was roommates with Curtis Painter in training camp, and in doing so, I got a chance to hear conversations amongst other quarterbacks about things that Peyton was potentially looking for. And it was like as small as it would be like a late night conversation where they'd be talking or whatever, and maybe down in the lobby of training camp or whatever, which is a really cool thing. Like, I think getting away for training camp, it has a lot of downfalls, the public bathroom and running into people when you're pissing and things that whole thing. But the camaraderie coming together is cool. Like, I think that's a pretty cool thing. And there was this one QB, and I won't say his name, but he said that his job was to find, like, if somebody's stance was just a little bit different than it would have been and it gives away like what coverage they were going to be in or something like. Is that the type of shit that you do and all quarterbacks do? Like, you're looking for one particular player, maybe like this guy gives away whenever it's this particular coverage, or this guy gives this away. Is that how it is? Or was that guy just drunk and lying that particular evening?
Well, he might have been drunk, but he wasn't lying.
Definitely drunk, by the way. I didn't want to. I didn't want to give you an out there. We were hammered, homemade wine. It was a great night. I mean, it was a great night. One of the worst hangovers of all time, but it was a great time.
I wish we'd been teammates for the season, man. I would have been.
I wouldn't have been able to make it without that Toradol thing. There's no chance I make it 16 games, by the way. I swing too hard. The whole leg almost falls off. But it would have been a good time. And I still got years left, by the way. So maybe if this all crashes, we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I look forward to that.
Kind of fucked up of you, but because this would have to crash for that to happen. But neither here nor there. Is there tells that you're looking at, though, that are that minutes?
There's a ton of tells. Everything is looked at. I think that's why one of the most important parts of the preparation now is self-scout, because there's just so much stuff out there. There's so much that guys can look at. There's TV copies, there's audio, you can hear everything, and then there's little things, obviously stance or alignment or where the eyes are. That, of course, you have to look at all that and try and put it all together. The best ones make it look very similar. They can make certain looks look the same. Yeah, there's always certain guys or defenses or situations that, it might be a little more difficult to disguise, but, there's pros and cons to disguise. The pros, if you got guys like Harrison and veteran guys who know the limitations, know where they got to get to within certain coverages based on the skies, it can work. The cons are, there's things that you can do to combat disguise, whether it's quick count or super long count to get them to show that defenses have to really be aware of. But look, there's so much out there now that you can study. I think it's just really important you work on your self-scout every week, and we do. And we talk about what phrases I use, what cadences I use, and we're always trying to switch things up.
That pick, did that guy surprise you that he was there? It looked like you were surprised that he was there.
Yeah, I didn't see him on the play. We had a number of kind of lapses in some of the things we did on Sunday. Based on the coverage, I think we should have probably had a guy wide open on that play. But I was looking at EQ on the right side. He was running double moving out and up. When I came back to Marquez, I just felt like because he was running, he was wide open based on the pre-snap. But the guy made a nice play. One of those ones that really frustrates you because it's like right when you throw it, you're like, oh shit.
Hey, by the way, that ball is going straight up on a mantle. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau. Boom! That's there forever, That's all I thought of for that guy. I was so happy for that guy. I mean, obviously it sucks for Aaron. They're going to win this game. That's not good. But that guy gets a chance now to be like, yeah, I fucking picked off Aaron Rodgers. Guy never throws picks. I picked off Aaron Rodgers. So happy for that guy as well as bummed for you. I just want to let you know how I am here. Fair and balanced.
Yeah, you're just a man of the people, Pat. I get it.
Bingo.
No loyalty at all.
Whoa! People are saying this show's becoming a Packers show. That's what people are saying at this point. It's getting...
So now you gotta really act like, oh no, I'm for everybody.
I'm not.
In the middle. Yeah, I got it, Pat.
Ty, what do you got?
Aaron, everyone always talks about like a quarterback getting his offensive lineman, presence or whatever, rewarding them. Have you said anything to Bakhtiari about what you might want in return now that he's the highest paid tackle in the NFL?
Not yet, Ty. That's a great question, as usual.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think a lot of times I let people speak about my gift giving, but in this case I'm going to speak about it because Dave's been blessed over the years with some of the presents I've gotten him.
Oh, tell us more. Like what?
I was actually just thinking the other day about some of the things I've gotten him.
You're such a good guy.
Wave runner.
Wow. Jet ski. I've never seen anybody sat on a jet ski. What? Kenny Powers.
Yes, if you go back, and I bet you guys, because you guys got a great staff there, you can research Bakhtiari. It's probably on his Instagram from the 4th of July a few years ago when he, pre-COVID, obviously, had like, a nice group of 15 to 20 women kind of hanging out, and the jet ski that I got him, he was riding. So
probably helped that day if I had to.
This was pre his current fiance. He was an amazing woman, and he's very happy and cannot wait to enjoy the nuptials. And
yeah.
But yes, wave runner.
Wow, that's nice.
4x4.
Whoa. He's got
ATV.
He's got a quad. We call it in Pittsburgh quad ATV.
Quad,
4x4.
Last year I got him a sauna.
You got him a jet ski on Earth and a sauna. Whoa!
Look at this.
Sauna.
Oh my God!
Like at one point he might have gotten a watch as well.
Oh, this guy! Hold on.
5-letter watch. So if you add all that up,
yeah,
all the years of love and appreciation, and he's a great player.
Great.
But he's about to be about 30 M's richer in the next few days.
Yeah.
So I look forward. I think it's, it could be the best Christmas ever.
And also a gift, by the way, it should be a best Christmas ever for you. Also a gift that you can't put a price tag on. You acted as if you couldn't finish a beer to put him over in front of an entire crowd. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, who else? He, went on social media last week. He was all sensitive. I never put him in a commercial and blah, blah. And he goes out, and he's not even the second best actor in a Matt LaFleur local Cellcom commercial. Oh! Yep, there's the picture right there. You bring it up. Yeah, bring it back up, guys. Yeah. Yep, that was the jet ski I got him.
Wow.
That thing's awesome.
Yeah, looks like it worked out pretty good, huh, Dave?
Huh, Dave? What about that?
I must say this, with all due respect. Now I can say anything.
Yep.
The ultimate Christmas miracle would be getting a gift from Dave.
That was nice. A little stingy, huh? Is that what you're saying? Hey, pal, a lot of take in this particular relationship. That's unbelievable.
It's okay though. It's a lot of love, and I really appreciate it. He's had my back. I've always loved all my left tackles. It's a position of pure trust. It'll be a Christmas miracle, and I look forward to that miracle.
I think it's going to happen. I think he'll get you something nice. I don't know. I'm sure you'll find some reason to complain about it. But so, Aaron, if you buy somebody a sauna, let alone if you're buying 7 saunas for your offensive lineman, I can't imagine you're sitting there scrolling through Amazon like, hey, man, what's your shipping address? And you're shipping them all yourself. Like, who does this? What's the logistics? Do they get to pick which house it goes in? Like, it's a big deal.
Me, bro. I do all of it.
Great teammate.
You ship it right to their house?
I send it most of the time to the stadium. In this case, it wasn't. It was made out west. But last year I did some things that were a little more personal gifts. In the past, I've done TVs and laptops and
of course.
Home theater systems and different things.
Of course.
Usually, it's a graduated meritocracy. So the longer you've played in the league, kind of. You get to, maybe a bigger gift. The best part, I think, out of all the gifts last year was I took them to to Cabo. I offered a trip up. Not everybody could make the dates work, but Bakhtiari, Turner, and Lindsley came down, went to Cabo, and had a good time down there playing some golf, and had a day of whale watching. Pat, I know you're a big fan of whale watching.
Love it, dude. A whale ate a goddamn kayak 2 weeks ago on the internet. Do not be on a kayak while whale watching it, Aaron. Do not do it.
But yeah, so I do all of it. I've been working on some gifts. I got some help from a partner, a shipping partner this year. So we got some actually early gifts coming this year.
Ooh. Couple quick.
Talk about it. We'll talk about it next week. We got some things dropping this week.
Couple quick questions. When you were called a terrible teammate by everybody for so long and all these things were happening, was there ever a moment where you were like, I'm fucking sick of these people talking about me like this? Because you told us one of the best lines of all time down in Bahamas. You're like, Pat, I just kill them with indifference or whatever. But if I'm doing all these things, by the way, awesome teammate stuff that you're doing there to take care of the people that take care of you on game days or whatever. Was there ever a moment where you wanted to come out and slap some people in the mouth for the things that were being said about you?
Not really, because Pat, it was generally the same people making the comments. So it wasn't like there was new things being said. It was opportunistic people who wanted to use, moments or my name or the frustrations of their own careers or the timing of us, not playing as well to be the go-to. And it was the same people being go-tos for all those stories. I laugh because in 16, there's a couple hit pieces put out when we were 4-6 and struggling. I mentioned we had a good chance of running the table. We won our last 8, and really since then there hasn't been a whole lot about any of it. So I never gave it a whole lot of time because it was the same people. It wasn't like there was people come out of the woodworks, and nobody wants to talk about if C. Wood says something about me positive, or Age, or John Kuhn, or any receiver, James Jones, Jordy, Randall, Devontae, lineman I played with and took care of. Like, nobody wants to put any of those quotes out there because those don't get the hits they want. They don't get the attention. But it was just the same few people, who would make statements. But obviously those sentiments have changed, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I would. You have a lot more willpower than me, pal. I would be like, and by the way, that's probably a reason why you're Aaron Rodgers and I'm not, now that I think about it. But it would have been tough for me to kind of just be like, this is all bullshit. It would be very hard for me not to do that, especially whenever everything else started coming in. You're a greater man than I. Nick, what do you got?
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about teammates and David Bakhtiari. Aaron, I just wanted to see if you had a chance to check on Miles Jack after that vicious shove he received from David.
He almost died out there.
I mean, I came over, I saw the play, and my 2 cents to add to Sean, the Whitecap, was that was a flop. I was like, you cannot call that. That was a huge flop. I think if it was NBA, he probably would have got fined for that. But look, Miles is a Pac-12 guy, so I got nothing bad to say about him. That was some Pac-12 stuff there with Colorado on UCLA with Dave on Miles. I've seen some bad flops. I think the worst flop I've seen all year, the worst, weird call was, you see Lee Smith for the Raiders earlier in the season? He jumped up and faked like he was going to headbutt a guy. He was doing it as a joke, and they flagged him for it.
Oh.
I don't know. Flopping, there's a decent amount of flopping, not as much as the NBA, thankfully, but there's a decent amount of flopping that goes on. Most of the time, I don't think it gets called. But I have seen a few incidents this season where there's been calls that have affected games.
Now, do you, for instance, there was a roughing the passer that happened early. Somebody was down around your ankle. And while the ref was about to give the call, you were seen talking to 2 other refs, pointing at what seems to be the head ref. What were you saying? Hey, this guy's going to get me killed out here? Or what were you saying to those other refs while that ref was potentially giving the roughing the passer call there?
I believe we were trying to quick snap them. They had 12 on the field, and I was trying to check and see what call they were making because there were some offsetting penalties. It looked like we weren't quite set on the right side. I was trying to figure out what the hell happened because it seemed like as I took the snap. Now I was looking at the sideline to make sure that we had them with 12 on the field, and so I didn't quite see what was going on the right side. On the right side, the tight end was trying to get on the ball and get the Z off the ball instead of just getting set for whatever reason. So I was trying to figure out what had happened over there, and then I had a talk with Josh after that play. That's one of those things. It's the rule that really came into play after Brady tore his ACL in the first game of the season. Help me with what year that was.
2008,
10. Was it 10?
Yeah, it seems like probably 2000, maybe 11, maybe.
Yeah, and they're trying to take away the low hits that aren't really necessary. I don't feel like he was trying to go low on me, and I hadn't got that conversation with him. That's not a penalty you're it's not one you're begging for at all.
So you were actually saying like that? Come on, like that shouldn't. Which, by the way, I bet you every other position group who just heard you say that is like, this guy's our hero, because it feels like anytime you can get one, like for instance, it was the first play last week maybe, and Tom got a hand right to his face and he threw it and it wasn't called. And I don't think Tom said anything, but the internet was like, Tom normally gets this call. Aaron, you're up in that level where it's like Aaron probably gets, I don't know, I don't watch enough, and you don't never get hit. It seems like somehow you're kind of, sneaky, athletic, crafty. You figure out a way not to get hit. But hearing you say like, that's hilarious that you tell the ref, like, we can't be calling that one. That's a little soft. That makes me look soft.
No, I didn't tell the ref that. I told Josh that, who saw me. He was great. He said, hey, you okay? Because a lot of times, if you feel like it's a dirty hit, that's a different conversation. It wasn't a dirty hit. And again, it's not a call you're begging for. Like, you don't, like, I'm not like desperate to, get that call. If it's a dirty hit, that's a different story. But I think he was just slightly off balance and got pushed. So he checked on me. I said I was fine. I said, that's not a call I'm begging for, and I hope he doesn't get fined for it.
Okay. Before we let you go, can't thank you enough here for your time. You're awesome, by the way. This is one of the coolest things that happens. The fact that you've maintained doing it every Tuesday thus far, we are very grateful for, by the way.
I missed one, but that was because we had a short week, but thank you.
But then you made it Aaron Rodgers Friday.
That's right.
Then you did Aaron Rodgers Friday after like 2 hours of sleep. So like the fact, we really appreciate it, by the way. This is everybody watches this. We know it. Hi, everybody that's watching. Like, it's very, very nice to see you. All the media literally watches this.
Suck.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to me, by the way. Shout out to me for this idea. Really appreciate it. No, you're playing the Colts this week. I obviously hope you don't get hurt. I hope everything goes on, but I got to say what I have to say. I hope the Colts, make it.
No.
Don't
do it.
No,
you can't do
you
it.
gotta. You have to.
No, man. Hey, that defense is good for the Colts. Just want to let you know that. You got your work cut out for you, pal. When the Maniac 53 starts running around, you better have that Galifianakis question mark thing around. You better keep eyes on him, Aaron, because I want Aaron Rodgers Tuesday to happen next week, and the Maniac probably doesn't. Just want to let you know that. Keep your eyes out, pal. Keep your eyes out there.
Hey, thanks for the heads up. I really appreciate it. No, there's two things I'm looking forward to this week, besides the challenge. I mean, obviously they're a good team. One is fans, which is fun.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have fans.
A little bit, yeah.
And two is Phillip Rivers. I mean, he's been one of my favorite players for a long time. I think he's pretty funny on the field. And, I think just his mannerisms, and I enjoy watching him play. I think he's an all-time great, and he's done it at a high level for a long time. And he's also really, really funny. Like, to talk that much and to never swear, that might be his greatest accomplishment.
It's unbelievable. It is
pretty amazing, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And just the way he handled, I thought, the pick six where he fell down. And then what happens? They come back in short week. Everybody's thinking they're going to trounce, and they beat Tennessee. Like, he's a tough dude. He played with a torn ACL, in a playoff game. So I got a lot of respect for him.
Okay, well, it's the clash of the Titans here. Okay, you and Phillip Rivers. And you just keep your head on a swivel, okay? Because that defense plays no fucking games, Aaron. Just want to let you know that, all right?
Hey, thanks, Pat.
I'm really torn here, okay? You guys don't play. We don't play you guys a lot.
You're trying really hard. You know what I mean? It's better just embrace being a fucking homer, okay? We're best friends. Like, I get it. You played there, okay? You don't play there anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And also, you're from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers. He's the best. Jim Irsay did give me a plane last year, though.
Yeah, but
You
is
know
he
what I
on the show every week?
He's not. Never been on the show.
So let's go Pack.
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.
AJ, did you get to play Aaron at all when you went to Cincy or Atlanta or ever?
God damn it, I don't know what to do.
No, I never got the chance to play against him.
Can't hitch your wagon to a wagon with 3 wheels.
Go back, go.
Don't do it.
You
You
can't.
want to?
It's an easy decision.
Just do it.
It's an easy decision.
Come on.
No, I like Maniac. Okay, I like Darius Leonard.
Yeah.
All right,
You love Phil Rivers.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Naeem Hines.
With that,
Naeem Hines is my guy.
Wish him happy birthday.
with that being said,
What's that?
go Pack, go.
It's Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, dude. It's hard not to, have a little bit of loyalty to Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, which has been awesome every single time. But you know what? Chris Ballard came on the show. He was really
did.
good
That's
too.
true.
You know?
That's true.
Let's get to a break.
I don't think Good to Good's going to come on.
Probably not.
He might not have a job.
Thank God, by the way. Jeez. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 17th. We're back on the other side with AJ Hawk. And your phone calls 1-888-MAD-DOG 6. It's the Pat McAfee Show.